over the 7th against the Aussies, and that should be a real good fixture. Anyway, the first round of the Lancs Cup it is. This opens the 90-91 season. Saints today, I'll just go through the team for you now. 1 Connolly, 2 Hunt, 3 Beavers, 4 Loughlin, 5 Quirk, 6 Bailey, 7 Devine, 8 Evans, 9 Groves. Number 10 is Kevin Ward, Lancashire Cup debut for this lad, signed from Castleford. All his County Cup rugby being played in Yorkshire. 11 Dwyer, 12 Haggerty, 13 Cooper, 14 Griffiths and 15 Bateman. The Trafford side, number 1 Tickle, 2 Connor, 3 Reynolds, 4 Abram, 5 Stewart, 6 Jones, 7 Greaves, 8 Herbert, 9 Garner, 10 Brown, 11 Meadows, 12 Eccles, 13 Slater, with substitutes 14 Rippon and 15 Litz. Today's referee is Mr Holgate from Barrow. And your officials is Mr Barrett with the yellow flag and Mr Carter with the red flag. Both captains out there centre field with the matchday officials. Just been the mascot just having his photo taken. As I said, it's young Ben Diggles, 5 years of age, from Ashurst County Primary there at Blackbrook. But imagine that's his dad. He's just going off with him on the far side. A big day for this lad, and one that he'll have on the matchday video and also through his dad's camera there. So Saints getting ready to start off. Paul Loughlin ready to get things underway. Mr Holgate starts us off. Saints playing up to the Eddington for this first half. Trafford, the first time we've played Trafford Borough since the name change. As I said, there have been a few names. I suppose the parent club has come through Blackpool Borough, and then they went Springfield Borough, Charlie Borough, and now Trafford Borough from May 1989. But it's Trafford in possession, just by their own 25. The ball there going through Slater, and then he moves it to the left. Solid tackling there on the far side. Beavers and Cooper moving across. Roy Haggerty in for the tackle, and the 3-man Saints tackle pushing Trafford back a further 10 yards into their own 25. Sixth and final, tackle signified by referee Holgate. Got the ball back and a scrum down there. Well, surely it should be a changeover. I mean, either it's a penalty or a changeover, I would imagine, because it was the 6th tackle that signified and an offence at the play of the ball, but he's given a scrum with the Saints feed. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. But it's Sean Devine to feed the first scrum after just 1.5 minutes play. Well, Saints, it was coming out the Saints side, but Alan Greaves quickly scampering through and is duly penalised. Saints take it quickly, and Stuart Evans driving up. Cooper along the line. Saints spread it quickly. Well, the cut-out pass there, but it's gone into Trafford hands. They lose it again, and Saints are on the charge again. Alan Hunt on the far side. Yes. Oh, the touch judge has his flag up. It's Mr Barrett on the far side with the yellow flag, but Saints transferred the ball very quickly. Saints lost it. Borough had it in the possession, but they lost it again. The ball was quickly scooped up, and Beavers moved it over to the right onto Alan Hunt's wing. But solid Trafford Borough defence bundled him into touch on the far side. Borough come up with a scrum. Slater from acting halfback, trying to scamper through. Local lad signed from Thatcher Heath after touring down under with the Barlow amateur team. But it's Trafford Borough still in possession. 3 minutes gone, no score. Fine bright day here at Nosey Road. The ball for the kick downfield. Gary Connolly moves over, shouldn't have any problem at all. As I say, we've been starved of rugby lately, haven't we? We're just back in the new season after 4 months out. And a good ball from Connolly onto Quirk. Super ball there from Connolly. Quirk gets up, plays it quickly. Saints moving it to the right. Loose ball from Shane Cooper, but Trafford have possession. I think it's Steve Garner that comes up with it. Well, a loose ball from Saints, and uncharacteristically from Saints captain Shane Cooper. But it's Dave Brown with possession just outside the Saints 25. Slater along the line now. Trafford moving it quickly to the right. Second row forward there, Mark Meadows. He tries to flick it out, but the ball goes down and Borough knock on. It's going to be a scrum down midway between the Saints 25 and the halfway line. Sean Devine to feed. Devine feeds. Saints get possession and they move it infield. Bernard Dwyer gets up to play the ball. Beavers moves it right on to Kevin Ward. Good ball playing forward, Ward, and surely we've got to follow the man with the ball. We've got big Stuart Evans and Ward, and Groves in the middle. Must be the biggest pair of props we've had for some while here at St Helens. About 16, 17 stone, both of them. Devine along the line. Mark Bailey straightens up into space. Bailey, Haggerty's with him inside, but a good tackle there. I think it's Steve Tickle, is it, that brings the tackle? This ex-Barrow campaigner. He smothered Mark Bailey there, man and ball. Onto Loughlin, into space. Cooper's with him. Yes, lovely ball. Saints open their account after 5 minutes play. So Shane Cooper there, he's been all over this field in the first 5 minutes. That'll make up for the loose ball he just played just short of the halfway line a couple of minutes ago. But good play from the Saints there, and Loughlin weaving his way through. Cooper was looming on his right. Loughlin, he took the tattle, made sure that the Trafford Borough player was committed, and then all he had to do was transfer it quickly to Cooper in support, and Cooper dove over just to the right of the sticks. So good start for the Saints after 5 minutes play. Cooper try, and now a Loughlin conversion, just a formality. So Shane Cooper opening the try scoring for the Saints this season. Loughlin there, as I said, pops it over. 6 points to 0, Saints in the lead. For the last time we played, as I said, the parent club, if we can call them that, to Blackpool in the 1981-82 season. That was in the Lancashire Cup first round tie away, and Saints came through there 28 points to 0. It's about 6 years now since Saints won the Lancashire Cup, 1984, with the old Malmaninga magic, which hopefully we'll be able to see this season, but it'll be with the Aussies when they come over on tour. But it was certainly Malmaninga's presence that won us that trophy. Well, Mark Bailey there, he was tackled on suspicion as Evans came through. Good break from Evans, he's certainly playing well so far, and it's going to be really a make or break season for Stuart Evans. This is the 4th season, I think, of his contract. Unfortunately, he's been dogged with injury, and we look forward to a good season from Stuart. I just hope he can stay injury free, because he's some forward, there's no danger. Solid tackling from the Saints there. Evans in again. Evans, Beavers, Cooper and Bailey. But Borough moving it there. Mark Meadows has to take the tattle. Steve Garner at the dummy half position, and Trafford moving it to the right. Scrum half Greaves. Quick ball there to second row forward Cliff Eccles. 6th and final tackle now in the Saints 25. On to Slater. Crossfield Grubber. Sean Devine, no problem, takes it cleanly. The Borough defence comes up. Half-back duo of Greaves and Jones there. Tackle him, but it's on to Stuart Evans now. Well, good on you there, Ken Jones. He slung one in. It was supposed to go for Evans, but it hit his own man. It's now with Kevin Ward. Turning in the tackle, looking to release, but a good clamp tackle from Hooker Garner. And Groves now at dummy half. Saints moving it right. Groves, back to Beavers, on to Connolly. Connolly runs it. Solid tackle there again. And Borough moving up very quickly. Ken Jones, but it's on to Vevers, who clears the line. Steve Tickle, veteran campaigner, teaches at Rivington Road School in St Helens, local lad, but had a testimonial season with the Barrow Club and then moved down to Trafford. But it's second row forward, Mark Meadows breaking through, but Les Quirk looks very sharp there. Quirk comes in, completes the tackle. Garner. Good tackle again. Quirk in at the tackle again. Borough moving it to the left. Slater along the line, on to scrum half Greaves. Solid Saints tackling, lined out well, coming quickly for the tackle. On to Ken Jones. Ex-Swinton player Jones, quite a number of Swinton players in the Trafford ranks. But it's kicked through again and Devine takes it. Referee Holgate waves play on and Devine there. Good tackle again, Jones in the thick of it again. 6 points to 0 the score, 10 minutes gone. Saints in possession, just inside their own 25. Groves at dummy half and Saints moving the ball infield. Kevin Ward. Block-busting run from Ward, but good tackle there from Cliff Eccles. Evans at dummy half, moves the ball to the left. Loose ball, but tidied up by Loughlin. International centre three-quarter. Back after his groin operation. Back to full fitness. He's had that just at the in the close period of the close season. Good ball to Haggerty. Quick, oh well, Haggerty gets the ball back, but is it a knock-on going to be ruled? Haggerty made the break, offside actually, signified by referee Holgate. So penalty to Trafford. Haggerty breaking through there with two men on his right. Things just going a little wrong. The Saints player picking it up in an offside position and Trafford are awarded a penalty. The kick upfield and fine touch on the Saints 25. So Saints forced to line out as Trafford play the ball. Ward and Dwyer in at the tackle there. Inside ball to Greaves. Solid tackling on the far side. And the Saints line intact at present. On to number 11 now, Mark Meadows. Solid tackling there. Evans and Dwyer again. And this is where all the work's done in the powerhouse in the pack. Tickle moving up as the extra man. Tries to feed it on to Darren Abram. Local lad, this Darren Abram. Certainly big things expected of him. But the ball's still loose. Played on. Hooker Garner, can he get over? Yes, the try's awarded. Good backing up there from Trafford, it must be said. A little chip kick through. The ball, it looked as though Paul Loughlin had it, but the defence came in from Trafford and it flicked up, and I think it was Greaves that shifted it quickly to Steve Garner backing up, and Trafford are on the board. Six points to 4 at present. I was just saying about this young lad, Darren Abram. He's a local lad. He was snapped up by Warrington early in his career, about 1985, but he just couldn't make things tick. Then he had a loan period with Swinton. Didn't find it any good there. Went on loan to Thatcher Heath, and then Mike Pears, the coach here at Trafford Borough, signed him up for Trafford, and there he is in the centre. Anyway, it's Tickle. Converts the Garner try. Steve Tickle, veteran campaigner, converts the Garner try, puts Trafford back on level terms at 6 points each. Just on about Darren Abram there, his mum is a Saints fanatic. She'll be here today. Obviously mixed fortunes for her. She'll be cheering for the Saints, no doubt, but obviously hoping that her son does well. Oh, not too well anyway. But it's Trafford Saints kick off, and it's number 3 there, Paul Reynolds. Moving upfield. Cliff Eccles now in possession, and Trafford 10 yards outside their own 25. Playing it quickly. Trafford moving across field, but the tackling's got to be made to count. I said the powerhouse there, all the work done in the forwards. Stuart Evans, tremendous tackle there, releases the ball, it goes back, and it's on to Steve Connor. But the Trafford team hoping that referee Holgate would wipe the slate clean. He hasn't done. The tackles count is still on. It's Trafford in possession, Garner at dummy half, and they're moving it over to the main stand side. A loose ball, but it's tidied up on the far side. Mike Stewart. Beavers quickly moves in with Shane Cooper. The ball kicked downfield. Just finding touch on the Saints 25. Both Saints substitutes warming up on the touchline. Jonathan Griffiths and Andy Bateman. Whether things are not going to plan for coach Mike McClellan. Third scrum of the afternoon. Saints feed and Saints come up with possession. Moving it quickly, Alan Hunt's coming in field, looking for support. But solid tackling. Brings him down. Saints putting it together, Cooper. Onto Bernard Dwyer. Looking to turn inside, but a good clamp tackle there. Second row forward it is, Mark Meadows. Kevin Ward. Released it to Groves. Groves into space. Connolly coming on the inside. Groves looking for support. Beavers has it. Plenty of Trafford Borough players offside there, but going unnoticed by referee Holgate. On to Devine. Gives a dummy to turn inside, but he's well taken down there by his counterpart, Alan Greaves, together with centre Darren Abram. Knock on there as Stuart Evans came through. Just couldn't take it cleanly, so scrum down just inside the Saints half, right in front of our commentary and camera position here at Nosey Road, with Alan Greaves to feed for Trafford. Well, he didn't retire there, did he? He got the ball, but the referee Holgate there, obviously not on the correct blade of grass, but it's Greaves to feed. Well, that was a good example of feeding. It came out of the scrum, and he hadn't retired, had he, Greaves? But Saints are penalised for foot up. You can't win them all, can you? Ken Jones finds touch on the Saints 25. The extra yardage from the penalty. Garner to start us off. On to Greaves, on to Slater. Short ball to this big prop there, Dave Brown. Trafford in possession, the score's all tied, 6 points each, 16 minutes of the game gone. Trafford in possession, moving it quick hands there, onto Abram. Yes, Darren Abram goes over there on the far side. As I was just saying about him being a St Helens lad, no doubt his mother will be pleased he scored, and a good try there. Quick play the ball from Trafford, and that's what it's all about. Catch the opposition off hand, which they did there. Quick play the ball, Trafford moving it in. The forward took the man, released the ball to Abram in support, and he went over for a good try. Edges Trafford in the lead now, 10 points to 6. Steve Tickle, certainly within his capabilities. Good goal kicker is Tickle. And this will give Trafford a 6-point cushion. Saints' second match of this season. Obviously we had the charity match a fortnight ago, where Saints beat Widnes 40 points to 12. At least we softened them up for Wigan, didn't we, the old pie eaters, but they still couldn't do anything as Wigan crashed, like as I said, 24 points to 8 in the Charity Shield. But Tickle there, good kick from this lad. Converts Abram's try, and Trafford in the lead by 12 points to 6. Well, when we were just on about that charity match, I was over there, as we didn't do the video, I was over there in the paddock, my ex-usual spot, and Saints went 4 points down to a Widnes try after only a minute or so, and we had all the knockers then saying that, second division for the Saints, we've bought nobody, this, that and the other, but we didn't do so bad, did we? We came out winners, 40 points to 12, and Widnes brought 4 substitutes on at half-time, 4 regular first-team substitutes, and they didn't even score in the second half. but you'll always get the knockers, won't you? I don't know why they stop at home. They must be wasting the £4 entrance fee if all they're going to come here and moan and knock. Fair enough for constructive criticism. Anyway, it's Trafford in possession. Held on their own 25. Saints will have to get stuck in, get amongst them there. They'll have to make the tackling count. Neil Slater there. As I just signed from the Thatterweed club. Ken Jones. Crossfield kick. Shouldn't be any problem there. Alan Hunt stops it with his foot. Comes infield. Hunt on the wing this afternoon. Brimmer Kebby, I believe he's away on holiday. He did get injured in the witness match. Evans flicks it up, but Saints capitalise it. Haggerty now. Inside ball to Loughlin. Stretching those big long legs. Good ball to Beavers, but a good tackle. I think it's Jones. No, it's the hooker. Garner that took him down. But Saints broke quickly there, and that's what they're going to have to do. Bernard Dwyer, loose pass from Bernard. Directly into touch, no chance of Les Quirk taking that ball. The Trafford sticking to the task. They're certainly, well, they've got a job to do, haven't they? They come here hopefully with progression to the second round of the Lancashire Cup, the Forshaw's Lancashire Cup. Or is it the Grunhaller Lancashire Cup? I think it's the Grunhaller, isn't it now? It used to be the Forshaw's. Just a bit out of touch there. Trafford still in possession. On to Slater. Quick ball again. Trafford moving it quickly among the forwards. Big prop there, Dave Brown, battering his way up to the halfway line. Bailey and Loughlin in at the tackle. Trafford moving it over to the blind side then, having to come back inside. Loughlin completes the tackle again. Bernard Dwyer in support. Tickle now as the extra man, gets a good ball there to number 3, Paul Reynolds. Certainly looked a forward past that. On to Tickle again. Sixth and final tackle there. Obviously the Saints faithful not very pleased about that decision. Cooper takes the ball on to Connolly. Saints break on the right. Well, certainly a forward pass there from Reynolds to Connor. Cooper now. Saints captain. Beavers on to Evans. A good tackle there. Mark Meadows quickly in. Inside ball to Haggerty. Into space, looking for support. Saints have got to follow this man with the ball. Ball playing forwards there of Bernard Dwyer. Kevin Ward. Stuart Evans. Roy Haggerty. Well, a knock on there. The ball coming out of, I think it was Bernard Dwyer. The referee right on the job. He ruled a knock on. So scrum down, Trafford feed. 22 minutes of the first half gone. 12 points to 6. Trafford lose possession. Bernard Dwyer snaps it up. Well, interception there. Dwyer tried to loft it over to Alan Hunt. The ball kicked through there by Phil Beavers. Once it's placed on the ground for playing, it's open to availability. And Phil Beavers availed himself. Booted it through and pushed Trafford back a further 20 yards. They're certainly running hard. Mike Pears, the ex-Warrington forward, he's got them fired up. And he was a bit of a rough customer in his time, Mike Pears, wasn't he? But solid tackling there, Roy Haggerty being spoken to. Referee Holgate taking exception to Roy Haggerty's tackle and a penalty to Trafford. Well, Mike McClellan now is in his first full season with the Saints. He came last February. The Leeds match was his first game. Saints streaked into a 20 points to 0 lead and then nearly let it fall, like, you know. Leeds came back and I think it was 20 points apiece at one spell. but we've had the close season now for him to weigh his staff up and appraise them, and then Mike's coaching patterns, which are totally different from his predecessor Alex Murphy, and he's got to put them into operation, and we just got to see what comes of it, and at the end of the season hopefully we'll have some silverware on the counter. But it's beg your pardon, Trafford Borough in possession. 35 yards short of the Saints line. Slater sidesteps, come back in field, but Stuart Evans and Shane Cooper quickly in. Garner from dummy half, but he's going nowhere. Big Stuart has him. Trafford still in possession. 12 points to 6 in the lead, and moving it quickly over to the Popular side. Looking for the break, but good tackle from Loughlin there as Quirk comes in to assist. But if he could have got that ball away, they'd have had a two-man overlap. Mark Meadows, I think, on the blind side. Paul Reynolds at dummy half. Very lucky there. Meadows juggles with the ball. On to Ken Jones. Low kick, cross field. Hunt takes it as the Borough defence comes up on the far side. Alan Hunt brought down centre field, just inside his own 25. On to Bernard Dwyer. Solid, hard runner. Local Pato Heath lad, Bernard Dwyer. On to Stuart Evans now. Saints looking very lax, just lacking a bit of a spark there as Cooper tries to go through, but he loses his footing. Steve Tickle snaps up the loose ball. It's on to Mark Meadows, releases it now to Reynolds, out to Wingman. Oh no, it's Reynolds in possession now. It was Connor that fed it to him. Garner on to Slater, looking for support. He's lost the ball, it's going to be a knock-on. Unlucky there, very enterprising play from Trafford, and being well applauded by the home crowd as well as the Trafford supporters. They're certainly playing well, Saints lacking that little bit of a spark to get them going. Certainly look a bit lax at present. Divine to feed. Well, look at there, Hooker. Yes, he's on his back there, Hooker, so penalty to Saints. Foot up in the scrum, and Paul Loughlin to kick to the Popular side for the added yardage. Fine's touch just inside the Trafford Borough half. Paul Groves to get things underway, and quite a number offside there, but Evans, Cooper, onto Bailey, back to Cooper, onto Bernard Dwyer. Oh, loose ball from Dwyer. But Alan Hunt very bravely went down on it, and Saints are still moving the ball. Brown coming in for the interception, but Cooper takes the tattle. Groves. Roy Haggerty now, hard runner, looking for support. Just penetrates the Trafford Borough 25. 26 minutes gone, 12 points to 6 in Trafford Borough's favour. Kevin Ward looking for support. Well, Groves was there, but he couldn't take it. The one thing about Groves, he'll always follow the man with the ball. Trafford in their own 25, and that's where Saints have got to keep him, but referee Holgate noticed that Saints were offside there. Obviously incorrect at the play of the ball. You've got to line up at the play of the ball. Trafford awarded the penalty. 4-2, I think it is, in Trafford's favour, the penalties. And it's Jones. Fine's touch, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Andy Bateman coming on to replace Bernard Dwyer. So the substitution taking place now. Whether Bernard Dwyer's took a knock, I don't know, but he looked quite sharp there. But Andy Bateman has been brought on. Prolific runner Bateman. Broke half a dozen ribs at Salford last season. Good play from Cooper there, coming through. Quickness of the hand there. Just couldn't take it, he intercepted it, but it went to ground. The scrum down to be formed with a Trafford feed just inside the Saints, the Trafford half, I should say. Alan Greaves in possession. Referee Holgate right in the middle. Greaves feeds and Trafford come up with possession. Slater at dummy half for Trafford, moving it left. Cliff Eccles, well taken there. Andy Bateman quickly in. Garner, inside ball. Good running from Mark Meadows. Good backing up as well, but he knocks it on. Can Saints capitalise on it? If not, it's going to be a scrum down. Yes, it's going to be a scrum down. The ball was loose there, Garner couldn't take it. Kicked it forward. Alan Hunt couldn't gather it. Then Phil Beavers couldn't drop on it. Scrum to be formed on the Saints 25 with Sean Devine to feed. Saints come up with possession. Hunt coming in field, but Saints unable to break this tight Trafford defence. Captain Shane Cooper will have to get things underway. Saints looking very lax in midfield. Andy Bateman, strong runner, solid tackling there. Ken Jones and Cliff Eccles, I think it was, in. But Roy Haggerty leading the defence of Merry Dance. Good ball to Beavers, out to Hunt. 1-1. Oh, the ball's gone. Obviously got to play to the whistle, but Hunt down with the ball there. Mark Bailey. Excuse me, Mark Bailey was on his left, but the ball being knocked forward. A lovely ball from Beavers there onto Hunt. He only had Steve Tickle to beat. But he's a good full back, this Tickle. Proved his worth there, tackled him. Greaves to feed. Referee doesn't like the scrum. Come out to Trafford Borough side. Borough taking the scrums 5-3. But handing out in the scrum, I believe, is the infringement there. I thought he'd allowed it to go, but a loose arm from Trafford, and Saints awarded the penalty. Taking it quickly onto Kevin Ward. As I said, the first time this lad's played in the Lancashire Cup competition. 13 years at Castleford, so all his rugby's been Yorkshire. Mark Bailey, 10 yards short, right in front of the sticks. A rare excursion for the Saints in the Trafford 25. Beavers, short ball to Loughlin, must be in. Yes, Les Quirk comes in field. So a quick transfer of the ball there. Phil Beavers coming over from his right wing position, right centre position I should say, over to the left wing position, making an extra man there. Lovely ball to Loughlin, he took it well, Loughlin. As I said, he took the defence on again and then fed it to Les Quirk, who came in field, tried to make the goal kick attempt a little easier. It's on the correct side for Loughlin, right-footed kicker, and over to the left side of the sticks. 12 points to 10 the score. Good score for the Saints. Certainly bring them back on level terms if Loughlin can pop this one over. But they've certainly looked very lax in centre field. Just don't seem to be putting it together, the fluent Saints. I know it's only early season, but perhaps we expect a lot. Loughlin now. Is it coming in? No, just going to the right-hand side of the posts. So the score here at Knowsley Road after 32 minutes of the first half. Saints 10, Trafford Borough 12. Obviously this Saints coach, Mike McClellan, he's had a lot of knockers at the end of, or during the end of the last season. I said he was only in charge for 15 games, but we won 8 out of the 15, we lost 6 and we had 1 abandoned, the Warrington game. Reading the local press, he's given the players intensive training schedules, and we can only hope that it pays off, as I said, at the end of the season. If you come to the training nights, you notice a lot of different methods. He's been very successful in New Zealand. Well, Groves onto Bailey. Bailey touches down under the sticks. Superb try from the Saints. Virtually from the kick-off there. And that came from persistence by Paul Groves, outstanding player in the Saints ranks. He's Paul Groves, always there and about. Not the biggest of fellas, but he just battered his way through the Trafford Borough defence, was able to release the ball. Alan Hunt was there and Mark Bailey, and Bailey took it and outpaced the Trafford Borough defence to touchdown right between the sticks. Formality for Paul Loughlin. So another 6 points there, so 10 points in 2 minutes for the Saints. And a very welcome 16 points to 12 lead. Excuse me, touch of the sneezes. Hope you've got that loud and clear. Oh, it's Trafford to kick off yet again. Well, let's go again. Let's have an action replay. Cooper stops it. Brings the ball out of the 25, straightens it up. 35 yards out from his own sticks. Stuart Evans taking up the running. Looking for the support there. He dives in the tackle, but it's on to Kevin Ward. And this is what we're going to have, 2 or 3 forward charges from these big forwards. The referee Holgate, it doesn't look 10 yards taking the ball back there, does he? But it's Bailey, into space. Stretching through Bailey, good dummy. Lofted ball, Alan Hunt. Let's see what he can do, gives the dummy. Lofts it up, the ball's still alive. Is it Connolly on the far side? The Saints moving 65 yards upfield there. Bailey along the line again, Haggerty, he'll take him on. 10 yards from the Trafford Borough line, right in front of the sticks. Ward charges forward, looking for support. Evans is with him. Evans, yes, he's over. Well, Kevin Ward opens his account with the Saints. A superb try there. 3 or 4 Trafford men hanging on to him. Stuart Evans came in and just gave him a helpful extra 16 stone. And he powered his way up to the line and was able to touch down. So what a purple patch for the Saints now. In 5 minutes, we've managed to amass 14 points with a Paul Loughlin conversion to come. So Kevin Ward there opening his account for the Saints. A good try there, he was taking it on, some solid running by the forwards, and obviously now they've come to life. Loughlin there, just positioning himself, no problem. 22-12 the score. $22 points to 12 the score. That's not bad, not bad I should say, coming back from a 12-6 deficit after that 16th minute Abram try. But in a purple patch there in the Saints, in 5 minutes they've come through with 16 points. Trafford to kick off, Ken Jones. On to Vivers, takes it well. On to Alan Hunt, coming in centre field. Let's hope Hunt can just stick hold of the ball. Unfortunately, he was trying this ploy last season and he used to lose the ball in the tackle. But there's Groves, back to Hunt now. He's certainly got some talent, this Hunt, only about 19 years of age. His best position is centre, but he's in on the wing. Roy Haggerty bursting through, back to Conley. On to Hunt now. Conley looping round for the return ball. He tried to get it out, but it went to Trafford hands, and Trafford in possession just inside the Saints half now. Strong running second row forward Mark Meadows taking up the running. Gara on to Slater. Big prop there, Brown, he lost it, and Bateman, see Bateman head down there like nobody's business. Saints back in possession. Evans, Saints moving it left. All the damage been done this side, Divine, lovely ball to Connolly, into space. Connolly kicks it through, the chase is on. Connolly and Quirk. But the wingman, the right wing, Steve Connor, manages to go down on it. Well, Saints being penalised for offside. 5 penalties to 3 in Trafford's favour. Just about 2 minutes of this first half remaining, and Saints in a comfortable 10-point cushion, 22 points to 12. They've certainly woken up, but it's took them 31 minutes to do it, virtually. Brown bursting through. The popular side here crying for a forward pass. It certainly looked to hint forward, but Steve Herbert, ex-Swinton and Barrow and Salford forward there. Ken Jones out to Meadows. Certainly looked outstanding for me, Meadows, in the Trafford Borough ranks. Garner the hooker. The ball kept over there on the blind side, on the main stand side. Cliff Eccles coming through. It's the 6th and final tattle of the Trafford Borough 6. But it's grubbed into touch. So a scrum to be formed 10 yards inside the Saints half. Saints feed, Divine to feed. 4 to 3, now 4 each in the scrum count. Gary Connolly certainly looking sharp, but Madden, oh, unlucky there. Divine was on his inside, but a good tackle there from Steve Connor. Play allowed to go on, even though the half-time hooter has gone. Les Quirk still in possession. If he's tattled, that'll be it. Yes, right on the 40th minute. So at half-time, Saints go in with a 10-point lead. We could hope for a bit more, really. They opened the score quickly, Saints, after some enterprising play in the first 5 minutes. A try from Cooper, goal by Loughlin, and Saints 6 points in the lead. Then it was all Trafford. Garner and Abram with tries, both converted by Tickle, and that took Trafford into a 12 points to 6 lead. It was 31 minutes of the first half before Saints got back with a score, where Quirk trying the corner off Paul Loughlin. Off a good Paul Loughlin pass, and that was he couldn't convert it, Paul Loughlin. 12 points to 10, still in Trafford favour, and then those 2 superb tries from Bailey and Ward in the space of 3 minutes, both converted by Loughlin. So it's half-time here at Nosey Road. It's St Helens 22 and Trafford Borough 12. Back with you now for the second half. Trafford to kick off. Saints in a 22 points to 12 half-time lead. Alan Hunt there, well, taking one right round the neck from Mark Meadows. Certainly stunned him a bit. I think it would stun you a bit, wouldn't it? Head tackle there, one down low and one round the neck. We're just receiving treatment, or going to receive treatment from Jeanette Smith, I think. No, he's okay, he's carrying on the ball with Paul Loughlin. Kick downfield. Mike Stewart had to grab for it, but it went back. But Shane Cooper comes in quickly, bounces him down. It's up to Saints now to hold Trafford in their own 25 there. Phil Beavers comes up quickly. Excuse me. And Jonathan Griffith on for the start of the second half. Sean Devine have been replaced by Jonathan Griffiths at half-time. The ball going back to Jones, is it for the kick-up field? Gary Connolly, well positioned, takes it well. Weaving his way through, Gary Connolly. Solid tackling from Reynolds. Groves now, inside to Paul Loughlin. On the diagonal run, Loughlin looking for support. There's Groves, inside ball to Connolly. On to Bailey, must be a try. Yeah, it's a good try from the Saints there. Good try from the Saints, threading the way through virtually from the halfway line, could we say. Gary Connolly very much in that move. Took it up well. Paul Loughlin doing some strong running. Paul Groves in the move twice. Connolly in it twice. And Mark Bailey there as the space was created for the Saints. Excuse me. On the far left. And Bailey touches down for his second of the afternoon. But Alan Hunt there, he took a knock in that tackle. And it looks as though it's Sean Devine. It's going to be back on the field. But the goal kick's waved away. Paul Loughlin unable to convert it. 26 points to 12 the score. Yes, it's Sean Devine. Coming back on. Alan Hunt took a knock after that high tackle by Mark Meadows, which went unnoticed. So reshuffling the Saints ranks again. And Devine, well, he'll be no slouch on the wing, will he? But Devine right back in the action. Gets the ball in his own in-goal area. Coming in field, straightening up. Welcoming committee of 3 Trafford players. Cliff Eccles and Mark Meadows. Stuart Evans. Good ball. Oh, unlucky there. Very unlucky there. Good break from Stuart Evans. Andy Bateman just looming on his left. Evans tried to slip it out to him, whether it was knocked down or not, but it went forward and a scrum down to be formed. Trafford in possession. Darren Abram. Brought down by Shane Cooper. Dummy half is Steve Garner. Bringing the ball in field. Kevin Ward takes him back 5 yards. Good tackle from Ward. 1-1. But it's Cliff Eccles. From the acting half-back position, but he's going nowhere. Saints tacklers come in quickly. Slater along the line now. Herbert. Good ball. Onto Meadows. Tickle moving up as the extra man, that dummy half. Brings it blindside onto Ken Jones. Out to Abram, going in field, threading his way through. Releases the ball there to Brown. Kevin Ward clamps him. As Paul Groves comes in as the extra man. So it's Trafford still in possession. Onto Jones. Shapes as though he was going to kick. Went past Roy Haggerty, but ran into man mounting Stuart Evans. The change over there, and Haggerty onto Phil Beavers. Sean Devine playing on the right wing with that injury to Alan Hunt. Kevin Ward now straightens up. Jonathan Griffiths looming, but Ward couldn't release it. Groves, Evans again. Saints using these big forwards as battering rams up the middle. 2 or 3 forward charges, and then hopefully spread it out to the speedy backs. Cooper. Roy Haggerty. Well, it's going to be a knock on. Play should be on. He should wave them off. Sean Devine coming in field. Jonathan Griffiths. Good play from Griffiths. Taken down just short of the Saints, of the Trafford 25, I should say. Saints have to move it quickly. They'll have an overlap onto Bateman. Good ball to Connolly. Moving in, extra man. Connolly comes inside. Bailey now with Groves. The ball still released. Well, a knock on. The referee Holgate right on the job. The ball came inside to Mark Bailey. Dave Brown came in to tackle him. Must have shook it from his hands, and a knock on has been ruled. It's Greaves to feed for Trafford. And they came round with possession. Second scrum of the second half. And Greaves is penalised for feeding. Penalty to the Saints. Differential penalty from a scrum infringement. Paul Groves gains about 10 yards and finds touch 10 yards short of the Borough try line. Stuart Evans powering his way through. Big cheer from the home crowd. Evans must only be inches short, but he was coming through at full pace. On to Griffiths. Can't stretch for the line, but that's how both Evans and Ward should be used as battering rams near the line. Groves again holds it up onto Evans. Still releases it to Haggerty. Ball coming. Well, Haggerty dummies back inside. Out to Les Quirk. Quirk taken down. But if you get these big forwards, as Ward and Evans and Bateman coming onto the ball from 10 yards short, take some pulling down. Well, was that in the field of play? Well, referee Holgate reckons it was behind the sticks, but it was dodgy that. I don't know whether he actually took that in the field of play. It looks as though it was to me, which would, if he's taken behind his own line, it should have been a drop out from between the sticks, but referee Holgate ruling that it was taken in the in-goal area, and therefore Trafford start with a tap from the centre of the 25. Neil Slater, attacking half-back for Trafford. 26 points to 12 the score, 8 minutes of the second half gone. Steve Herbert. Garner, attacking half-back. On to Mark Meadows, solid tackling from Cooper. And Roy Haggerty. Good clamp tackle as Reynolds comes up at dummy half. On to Ken Jones, inside ball. Good ball from Trafford there, they keep it going. Well, ball was played, no man for Trafford. Cooper capitalises on it, and then Saints nearly lose possession. Groves did well there, just lost his footing. Good play from Cooper, and it nearly came unstuck there. But Saints back in possession. Beavers at dummy half. On to Bateman. First man in. Good solid tackling. Slater and Meadows for Trafford. Mark Bailey. Inside ball to Kevin Ward. Loughlin in support on the left, but Ward has to take the tackle. Well, Loughlin missed the ball there, and Connolly tied it up, but referee Holgate ruled that a knock-on had taken place. Trafford making two substitutions now, with number 14 Andy Rippon coming on to replace Darren Abram, and Terry Litz replacing Dave Brown. Trafford with a penalty. Ken Jones to kick to the main stand side here at Nosey Road. Decent kick, gains about 25-30 yards, and finds touch 5 yards inside the Saints 25. So it's Trafford, a rare excursion into Saints territory this second half. Terry Litz, substitute forward. Fresh man, powering his way through. Greaves there. On to Herbert. And the far side, the corner of the main stand and the Eddington. But Trafford moving it infield. Looking for a bit of space. On to second row forward, and he's over for a try. Cliff Eccles. Did well there, spread it quickly. Quick transference of the ball from Trafford, spread it out, and Eccles, I should say, saw the gap. He went for it, and his power took him over, and he just managed to stretch out and touch down just to the right of the sticks. A try for Cliff Eccles reduces the deficit for Trafford Borough, 26 points to 16, and surely just a formality for Tickle. He could backheel this over, couldn't he? And the other ties in this first round Lancashire Cup. Warrington at home to Chorley, Fulham against Runcorn. The old pie eaters, they've got an easy one, haven't they? Can't expect anything else. Wigan against Barrow. Whitehaven and Widnes, that's a toughie for Widnes, so you think up there at the recreation ground. As Tickle pops it over, Lee and Swinton, Salford and Oldham, and Carlisle and Workington. Tickle pops it over. 26 points to 18 now. Just an 8-point cushion there for the Saints. 12 minutes of the second half gone. And apart from that purple patch of 6 minutes in the first half, when Saints amassed those 16 points, Saints definitely looking a bit jaded. Trafford in possession. Litz, substitute forward, running hard. Shane Cooper and Paul Groves bring him to earth. Steve Herbert, good ball there, head inside to Mike Stewart, but a solid tackle from Vivers. Trafford in possession. Try score there, Cliff Feckles stretching upfield. On to Mark Meadows. Haggerty and Cooper in at the tackle. Garner at dummy half. The ball back to Jones for the kick upfield. He's trying a crossfield grubber, see if he could find touch in the far corner, but the ball's gone dead. So Saints will restart with a tap from the centre of the 25. Trafford lined out there on the 10-yard line. And Andy Bateman powers his way through. Paul Groves, Ward's with him. Ward into space, back to Groves. Inside ball. Quirk can't take it. A knock on. Well, I don't know how we can rule a knock on there. But he's the man in the middle. He's making the decisions and not us. And you can hear by the popular side over here what they think of Mr. Holgate's decision. Good play there, and Groves again. He's been in and out and tormenting this Trafford Borough defence. Must be in the running for the Saints sponsors man of the match. I don't know whether we have how they work it to Lancashire Cup. It's a Grunhaller player of the match it'll be from the Greenhalls Brewery. They'll have their own party that's picking the player of the match. But Paul Groves certainly must be in contention. From the scrum, Trafford come up with possession. Three scrums to nil in this second half, I make it. 15 minutes gone. The score still 26 points to 18. And Saints tackling, it'll have to be tightened up. They'll have to get in there amongst them. Phil Vivers taking a knock. And Trafford breaking, it's the hooker Garner. What a good tackle there from Jonathan Griffiths. Alan Hunt comes out and warms up. But Vivers there, he's took a hard knock. Well, it must be a knock on that. Yes. But Phil Vivers out there looks in a lot of pain. Saints physio Jeanette Smith and the Saints sponge man there just treating him. But he certainly looks in a lot of discomfort, does Phil Vivers. Scrum to be formed on the halfway line, virtually on the centre spot. Going to be a safe feed. Jonathan Griffiths comes up with it and goes blindside. Strong runner, Jonathan. So Saints down to 12 men. Stuart Evans down the blindside. Well, Phil Vivers is still down. As one spectator just shouted, he has been down quite a long while. Bailey into space. Kevin Ward. Paul Loughlin. Loughlin still breaking through. Still going is Paul Loughlin. Well, the touch judge had to go on now. Mr. Barrett with the yellow flag. But it's Saints still moving upfield. That'll stop the game. And not before time. Mr. Barrett finally coming on to stop the game. And Phil Vivers obviously in a hell of a lot of discomfort there. The St John's ambulance on, the stretcher being brought on, but he's going to be carried off, and Alan Hunt will come back on. To replace Phil Vivers. We know the game carries on when there is an injured player, when he can be treated. But Phil Weaver's on the ground for quite a while there, 2 or 3 minutes at least. The game starts with a scrum down, but an offence at the scrum, a differential penalty. Saints are awarded the penalty. As Paul Groves takes a quick tap onto Roy Haggerty. Tries to release the ball, but bounced off a Trafford man. Saints have it. He's not wiped the slate clean, but we still should have another 5 tackles to hopefully penetrate the Trafford Borough line. There's Evans, yes. No problem from Evans there. So both of these prop forwards showing the force this afternoon, and Evans goes over. Kevin Ward already scored one. Extends the Saints lead to 30 points to 18. And as I said before, we should be using these forwards close to the line there. Stuart Evans took the ball and powered forward. And when you've got 17 stone of prime Welsh beef pounding for the line there, he'll certainly take a lot of stopping. So Evans scores. Paul Loughlin, 10 yards in from the touchline, on the 25-yard line there. It's on the correct side for him. Let's hope he can slot this one over this time. Alan Hunt has come on to replace the injured Phil Weavers. Loughlin there, lining up. Strikes it well. Yes, right between the uprights. 32 points to 18. So 6 tries and 4 goals for the Saints. Ken Jones gets things underway. Nearly halfway through the second half. And Saints back with a 14 points cushion. Evans again, popular figure here at Nosey Road. As I said, he's in the last season. Well, unfortunately there, he was adjudged to have pushed the Trafford player off. The referee penalised him, and he obviously spoke out of turn, and Trafford were awarded another 10 yards. Terry Litz, inside ball to Slater. Stocky lad, this Slater, only about 5'8", 5'9", but he's a very stocky lad. Hatterweath lad. Ken Jones along the line. Tickle as the extra man. The ball being spread back to Jones again. Gives the dummy, feeds it inside. A big gap looms, but solid Saints tackling. But the ball's released. Trafford spreading it. Mark Meadows, good tackle there. Alan Hunt's come on and a good clamp tackle, man and ball. So Saints reduced to 12 men as Garner tries to chip through, but the ball's going to run dead. It's gone dead. Tried to chip it through there, did Steve Garner. And Saints with another player injured. As I said, we're down to 12 men. It looks like Shane Cooper that's receiving treatment, but Saints have used the full quarter of substitutions. So if Cooper had to leave the field, he can't be replaced. Kevin Ward on the burst. Unlucky there, Jonathan Griffiths couldn't hold it. When it comes to Tickle, Groves finally wrestles him to the ground. Well, he got up, but Groves finally tackles him. But it's Cooper now back on his feet. Steve Herbert caught in possession. The ball with Slater. Inside to Cliff Eccles. Well, Stuart Evans there tackles him. Good shoulder charge on Eccles. He'll know about that, won't he? So it's Mark Meadows breaking through. Into the last quarter of the game. 32 points to 18 the score. Right winger Steve Connor loses possession. Connolly comes up with it. As I was saying about Stuart Evans there, he's in the last season of a 4-year contract. Been very unlucky with injuries. Just hope he can keep injury free. He loves it here at St Helens, and the Saints public love him. And he's one forward when he's on song. Good ball from Cooper onto Bailey. Loughlin into port, Groves inside. Groves streaking for the line, Quirk's with him. Oh, Groves is going to make it. Brilliant try from Paul Groves. So, brilliant try from Paul Groves there after some good interpassing from the Saints. He's always there and about his Groves. He took that ball and he had Les Quirk with him, but he didn't need to use him. And if that doesn't win him the man of the match this afternoon, I don't know what will. He's been there, here and about. He's always there following the man with the ball. Saints Player of the Year last season. And a real acquisition, a £40,000 signing from Salford about 3 years ago now. Alec Murphy knew his potential while he was at Salford, and he brought him here, and he's been a firm favourite with the Saints ever since. Loughlin converts. (38-18) the score. 23 minutes gone, so 17 minutes of the second half to go. After a shaky start in the first half, then as I've said before, a patch within 5 minutes with 16 points, and probably well, Sean Devine breaking through. Can he outpace the defence? Well, what about that for a run, eh? 60 yards from Sean Devine. The ball kicked through onto Jonathan Griffiths. Breaks through a rather hefty tackle onto Alan Hunt. Feeds it inside to Bateman. Bateman streaking for the line. 10 yards short. Quick play the ball wanted. Well, held down there Bateman at the play of the ball. That's been penalised before. But Griffith sees the gap, drives for it. Onto Bailey. Can he go in for his hat-trick? Kevin Ward wants a quick play of the ball. Well, lost the ball there, Kevin Ward. Wanted a quick play of the ball. Tickle was there, and Trafford come up with the possession. So Trafford in possession now, in their own 25. Garner from acting half-back, trying to scamper through, no way for him. They're in their own 25 at Trafford. It's the sixth and final tackle of this sequence. The ball back for Jones. Crossfield kick through, a high one. Les Quirk takes it well. Quirk pushes two off, he's still going. Brings it in centre field. Well, a penalty there as Quirk being held down. Groves takes it quickly. Cooper onto Loughlin. Support inside from Cooper again. Looking to release it, he does to Alan Hunt. Have to keep it in field. Hunt comes in field. Well, nearly had his head took off there. There's a substitute Andy Rippon there, a rather high tackle, but it's Bailey. On to Ward, good ball to Connolly. Saints looking good value now. Groves again, Cooper along the line, Mark Bailey. Andy Bateman beats one. Oh, Bateman's in. They'll not stop Bateman, will they, from that distance and that speed as well. Andy Bateman powers in for a try. As I said, he was unlucky at the back end of last season. In fact, there's a lot of Saints players carrying injuries at the back end of last season. Bateman, he broke half a dozen ribs at Salford. And it took a long time for him to heal. But he was back there at full pace and he took that ball on. The Saints spread it very quickly. Cooper certainly got him buzzing this second half. He fed it on to Bateman. He beat the first tackle and then there was no stopping him. He powered his way to the line, touched down easily. So Bateman, he replaced Bernard Dwyer in the 27th minute. As Loughlin pops that one over. (44-18) the score. As I said, 44-18, and Trafford making a substitution there with Steve Herbert coming off and number 10 Dave Brown going back on. Bateman coming on for Dwyer, as I said, and we only need Roy Haggerty to score now, and all the forwards have scored. Alan Hunt, he's still going his hunt, releases it to Cooper, Saints on the charge again, Jonathan Griffiths. Good ball to Sean Devine, puts his ears back, kicks it forward, Devine on the charge now, hacks it on, still in possession. Good ploy from the Saints there, but good play from Hunt, and then Cooper and Devine. Haggerty now, yes! Well, I was just saying, we only need Haggerty to score. All the forwards are on the board now. It's turning into a bit of a rout now. After a very slow start. As I said, at half-time, Mike McClellan, he'll have had the whip out and certainly give him a good verbal lashing. And it doesn't look as though he's done him any harm, does it? That brings the 50, well, I'm saying that brings the 50 points up. It will when Paul Loughlin just back heels this kick over. 48-18. There's the half century with 11 minutes of play remaining. Probably we all remember a few seasons ago, about 1986 I think it was, first round of the Lancashire Cup, when Saints played Carlisle here, and they've got 112 points to nil. The score was only 32 points to nil at half time, and even though it might sound stupid, Carlisle didn't really play all that bad. Well, Evans couldn't take it, and that's what he thinks of that. A floated kick there from the kick-off from Trafford. Evans couldn't take it, he knocked it down. So a scrum to be formed 10 yards from the Saints line. Trafford feed. 50 points to 18, so Saints comfortably through to the second round draw. It says it's tomorrow morning at 7:45. I know it is a bank holiday, but it probably will be on in the morning. Well, good feed of the scrum there from Alan Greaves. Been penalised a couple of times for feeding, but Trafford still in possession. Alan Hunt marking up at the play of the ball, but it's on to Greaves. Short ball there to this Steve Connor. Moving all around the field. Roving commission he must have, but it's on to Terry Litz. But Kevin Ward and Andy Bateman, I think it is, bring him to a halt just on the Saints 25-yard line. Slater turns the ball inside onto Mark Meadows. Good forward this Meadows, he releases it to Greaves. The ball's loose. It's still loose and Saints have possession. Well, the referee's blown up. It's going to be a scrum down, it'll be a Saints feed, with Trafford Borough doing the initial knock-on. No doubt today's match day mascot Ben Diggles, 5-year-old Ben, he'll be pleased with the Saints performance, especially now that they've got it together from the scrum. Well, a forward pass had been ruled from Jonathan Griffiths to Les Quirk. What Saints hooked the ball quickly from the scrum, took it blind. Jonathan Griffiths fed it to Les Quirk. The pass was ruled forward, so a scrum 10 yards inside the Saints half. Trafford feed this time. The scrum will have to be reformed. So Greaves to feed and Trafford come up with possession. 5-2, they're winning the scrums in the second half. Slater. Long ball to wingman Stewart, playing in the centre. It's out to Andy Rippon. Substitute back, but the ball's loose. Knock on being ruled. Referee Holgate indicating there that Rippon had knocked the ball forward. So 3 scrums in quick succession in the Saints 25. Jonathan Griffiths to feed. Just get the pack formed. Well, he's not putting much effort into it. Well, I was just going to say the referee's not putting much effort into it to get them packed, and then he penalises the Saints. Paul Groves just going up and having a word with him, and he's penalised for his trouble. 5 penalties to 3 in Borough's favour in the second half. 7 minutes of the game remaining. The game beyond doubt, 50 points to 18 in Saints' favour, and Andy Rippon about 5 yards short of the Saints line. On to other substitution, Terry Litz. Well, surely he can't allow that try. Came off, well, he's given it, hasn't he? Garner, I think, is accredited with it, but Litz was going through. The ball looked as though it had come forward. Came back to the Saints, and Garner picked it up and went over. It must have been a knock-on. Steve Garner, I think, being accredited with that try of sorts, but yet another official mistake in my opinion. Litz was bursting through. It looks as though he lost the ball. It was going towards the Saints line. Saints player, as far as I was aware or could see, didn't lay his hands on it, and then Garner following up picked up the scraps and touched it down. Tickle converts it. $50 points to 24. Just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. I'm sure Mike McClellan will be pleased with his side's effort in the second half. 5-try performance in the second half. Just leading 22-12 at half time, and now in a 50 points to 24 commanding lead. Looking forward obviously to another home tie in the draw. Let's bring the pie eaters down here next week. Let's get them disposed of early in the competition. Anybody at home, we're not bothered, are we? But it's Mark Meadows, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Looks like Jones at dummy half. Slater releases the ball onto Slater. It's still loose. Borough come keep possession. Cliff Eccles bursting through, looking for support. He did well there, did Greaves, to get the ball. Mark Bailey coming wrapping him up, but it's on to Terry Litz now. Groves and Ward, I think it is, at the tackle, yes. Kevin Ward. Slater at dummy half. Trafford moving it right. Mark Meadows, lofted ball there. Good ball onto Connor. Chips it forward. But Connolly's there. Does well, does Connolly. Connor comes back and completes the tackle, holds him down. Kicking at the play of the ball. But it is allowed, as I say, once the ball is on the ground. Stuart Evans. Just slowing the game down a little bit, calming it down. Just 4 minutes of normal time remaining. Jonathan Griffiths giving the dummy, trying to progress up to the 25-yard line, but Saints still held there. Bailey, Bateman, good ball to Cooper, well taken by Cooper. Good hands from Shane Cooper there. On to Roy Haggerty. Always the man to follow Haggerty in a testimonial season here at Saints. Good support from this lad. He's Saints through and through. It's the sixth and final as Shane Cooper Lofts it high. Tickle gathers it and drives up centre field. Paul Grove just laid off him there. Must have thought he was in an offside position. Whether the referee had shouted to him or not, I don't know, but it's Trafford Borough in possession. Mark Meadows up to the 25. Slater at dummy half. Mark Bailey had brought Meadows down there. Try scorer Garner. Well, I think it was Garner anyway. Evans and Ward there combined to bring him down. But certainly Trafford lacking that bit of a spark there, but Slater bursting through. Connolly wraps him up, and Connolly, well, he's in for the ball there, is young Gary Connolly. Jones trying to work a diagonal movement there with Eccles. It's back to Tickle. Well, short ball there to Brown. Certainly looked to hint forward from Tickle, but it's the sixth and final tackle one. You can bet this will go up in the air. Good ball there from Greaves. He's lost it as the Trafford man. It's going to be a changeover. Well, sympathetic or sarcastic, I should say, jeers as the popular side applaud that the referee has actually seen a knock on. Alan Hunt. Well, that's what that power sled training does for you. Hunt there with two big men on his back and still powering his way forward. Groves into space. 50 points to 24 the score. Just a minute and a half of normal time remaining. Roy Haggerty turns the ball inside there. He releases it onto Paul Loughlin. Coming on the diagonal. Looking for support is Loughlin. Steps out to the tackle. Releases it back to Groves. Always there and about is Paul Groves. And Saints bring the ball up to the halfway line now. Injured player there, Greaves it is for Trafford. Took a knock in that tackle. But Saints bringing it blindside. Connolly, short ball to Hunt. Juggles with it. Sean Devine picks it up. And that is going to constitute a scrum. 10 yards inside the Trafford half. Hunt taking another knock. He got replaced early on in the second half when Sean Devine came on for him, only the second minute, and then he had to come back on when Phil Vivers got injured. But Trafford up with the ball from the scrum. Andy Rippon, centre field. Reynolds at dummy half, but Trafford still in possession. Brought down virtually on the centre spot again. Hunt back in the fray. Fully recovered, the magic sponge of Jeanette Smith. And it's on to Cliff Eccles on the far side. Dragged into touch there. Good tackling from Paul Loughlin on the far side. Cliff Eccles, both these second row forwards for Trafford, Meadows and Eccles have run hard. Certainly Meadows had a good second half, and Eccles has had a good Meadows had a good first half, I should say. And Eccles had a good second half. Well, Paul Groves have been voted the man of the match. They're just coming up on the electric scoreboard, and only rightly so. I've been prompting him all through this game, and only rightly so. That try certainly sealed it. So it's in possession from the scrum. Connolly linking up as the extra man, and it's Cooper on to Bailey. Into space is Bailey. They're playing in time added on for stoppages now as Andy Bateman runs it hard, centre field. Brought down midway between the halfway and the Trafford 25. Roy Haggerty now, another hard runner, brings the ball up to the Trafford 25. Groves again, as I said, just been voted man of the match. Loop movement there with Cooper, on to Bailey. Jonathan Griffiths gives the dummy into space. Hunt's with him. Oh, but nobody's going to stop Griffiths. Touches down there. 10 yards in from the popular side touchline. Jonathan Griffiths, he's back after a groin operation, plagued with injury since his signing at the beginning of last season. He's played with injury, but had to go and have the operation, the groin operation, similar to Paul Loughlin, but he's very sharp. ex-Welsh rugby union player, a teammate of Jonathan Davis, the Widnes ex-rugby union player. It's 54-24, and Paul Loughlin to tag the points on. We probably won't have time to kick off. Actually playing in stoppage time. Well, that's plumb, that, isn't it? As the hooter goes, plumb in the centre. Well, an emphatic win for the Saints here this afternoon. 56 points to 24. Obviously an unknown quantity at Trafford, but they certainly put the frighteners on the Saints. Saints took an early lead, 6 points to 0. Then 12 points within 5 minutes from Trafford, and put the Saints on the rack for a further 20 minutes. It was only halfway, well, after half an hour, I should say, of the first half when Saints come to life. They got 3 tries and 2 conversions, and that was 22-12 at half time. For an emphatic display in the second half, tries from Bailey, Evans, Groves, Bateman, Roy Haggerty, and finally Jonathan Griffiths, with Paul Loughlin kicking 5, I think it is, second half goals. So the final score here at Nosey Road is 56 points to 24, and we just look forward to hopefully a home draw in the competition, which takes place tomorrow morning.